Well, we're back. Now, elementary school will be a early childhood great access. Now learn your ABC. Of course, one day your elementary year will be done. You go from kindergarten all the way up to the 5th grade, then you graduate to promote going to up to the next level, to middle school and high school. Well, this story is not the case. One 9-year-old girl in Houston, Texas, because she was stabbed by a student, an 8-year-old student. It's crazy is because bullying has always been the main problem. Time to go up. And of course, I'm going to switch this so we to KTRK that this have the rest of the story. I'll be back after this video. I'll have my camera switch back to my front of my own screen to see the story about why the teenager. Let me take that back. A 9-year-old girl was stabbed with a scissor. I know this story. I don't want to warn you. It's very graphic image to see. You will see blood on one student shirt, a 9-year-old shirt. She lost a lot of blood and stuff right here. But I'm going to spend that after the video. But right now, let's go to the video.
Leave my child in your care, then I expect you to have the proper supervision. I expect her to be safe.
A mother is outraged after she says her child was stabbed multiple times at school, and school officials called her instead of 911. Tonight, she wants some answers about how that violence even happened. And good evening, friends. I'm Dave Ward.
And I'm Gina Gaston, and we want to warn you that some of the images of the girl's injuries are graphic. Eyewitness News reporter Pooja Lodia has the story. Pooja?
Gina, we are talking about very young children here. We're talking 8 and 9 years old. They got into a fight right here at school, and Mom says she didn't realize just how serious the injuries were until she saw all of the blood.
They say I'm tough.
9-year-old Sanaya sure is tough. You'd have to be after losing this much blood. You can still see it on her school uniform.
She had pushed me, then I pushed her back, and then she started hitting me.
Sanaya and her friends started arguing at an after-school program at Pleasantville Elementary yesterday. One thing led to another, and an 8-year-old stabbed Sanaya multiple times with a pair of children's scissors. School officials didn't call 911. They called Grandma.
It was like a crime scene. I trailed the blood to this back room, and that's where I found Naya.
Grandma and Mom rushed her to LBJ Hospital, where Sanaya got 20 stitches. Here's a video from when she finally came home, scared and in pain.
She lost a lot of blood. She could have died.
Sanaya will be okay, but this 3rd grader who has always loved school, especially her theater performances and math classes, doesn't want to go back to Pleasantville anymore.
I'm really just outraged. Why wasn't there an emergency service contacted?
HISD officials say the situation didn't seem serious enough for an ambulance and pointed out that the family lives just a few blocks away from school. As for the 8-year-old, she has been disciplined at school, but she's too young to legally face criminal charges.
I thank God that Naya's okay, because I wouldn't know how to take that.
And this family is now exploring options, trying to figure out if they can put Sanaya in another school. I've also reached out to the 8-year-old's family, but haven't heard back yet. Reporting live at...
Well, this was from KTRK once again, police and local reporting. And you just saw that news story. Yeah. The crazy is when some students use a lot of blood, why the staff didn't call the ambulance instead of the grandmother? That should have called the ambulance if something happened. A young 9-year-old was stabbed multiple times by another student. Man, my crazy, they was bully related to this or what? I don't know. But the sad part though, the 8-year-old was suspended for 3 days, but too young to face criminal charges. Another 9-year-old was tough. Another lost a lot of blood. Another she was alive, but thank God. But for all the other students who stabbed him, she was see a 3-day suspension, but too young. Like I say, too young to face criminal charges. It's a crazy is, man. Our public school system today is not doing good enough to teach these kids why they can't get along. They always hate one another to everything else. Some just don't care. And parents fail to do their job to talk to their kids about why they're wrong, because the 8-year-old, by the way, she was wrong to do that. By the way, on the background info about state law, children under 10 cannot face criminal charges. Children is 10 over, if they do something wrong in school, yep, they go face criminal charges. But some judge system, they go and try them as an adult. And actually adult where I might counsel them or take them to juvenile detention program or take them to jail program. Well, they be working teaching how these kids that out of control, fight, stab, conceal weapon, bring to school, not gonna tolerate it in time. I know this is very difficult image to see for that 9-year-old after all that blood loss. I know some TV stations don't want to air that, but they had to because they want to show the view how violent that school can be. That's my opinion on that. But lucky for a 9-year-old, she okay, but she's too afraid now to go back to school now. Because she sees that 9-year-old again, she probably believe them more. And now she afraid to go to school because of that. Well, I know just this. You're not alone. I've been in this situation too. By the way, today, if 160,000 school children stay home every day because they're afraid to go to school. I understand where they're coming from, but homeschool is probably the best way for kids to get education. Parents can do the right thing and homeschool them, they be worth it. They be work also. I don't think public school is not like it used to be because it's unsafe now. Alright, I'm going to switch over to my cold comments. Well, two horrible sobering image on that one teenage girl who ran over a car a couple weeks back. I know she learned a lesson. And all these out of control teenager girls are so wild. And they don't care about nobody else because they think they're on me, think they're all that. And they fight, they love to fight, but they don't know what the consequences coming their way if they continue to do a low light image out there, go to school, fight, Then one thing, you do fight, you can be suspended for 3 days, all ticketed. Almost much worse. I never got no ticket when I fight because I don't see the overnight suspension back in my 7th grade year when I got into a student, but the student I got into him got kicked out of that year. And unfortunately, it's sad for that student. And then I made out to promote to the next grade. Like I say, I already know kids make that a low light to kids. Always want to stalk or somebody when somebody's trying to go to class, trying to get that much education. Leave them alone. But they still stalk them. And then they want to throw a cheat shot, attack them, and then they can spawn back to fight back because you probably go to school to learn, not fight. Because I aspire go to public school to fix this problem, but I'm not. But I did have to promote it. Violence going on in these schools because the children today, since Phoebe Prince suicide back in 2010, it led to 5 suffer a struggle, emotional time what they did to Phoebe Prince, led her to bullying and to a suicide. Now Rebecca, she committed suicide back in 2012 or 2013. It probably one of those years. I know it's sad, both of them gone. Of course, a lot of other teens who been in their own life by suicide. Well, I know for the parents who lost their child, I feel the same pain too. I know if I had my own kids, I'd probably do the same thing too. And a lot of parents who worry about their good kids, some good parents always give those kids advice, go to school to learn. Other kids, they ain't going to school to learn. They come to school to cause trouble. And the worst thing, like say you fight going to school, you will not going to be making. You continue this behavior. And you fight, that'd be 3 days suspension. If you continue this, they probably kick you out. And then some kids get kicked out. They had their life as a career criminal, steal and rob other people who try and make a living. Some of these out of control teenager boys and girls think they all cool, think they got power. They don't got power. They abuse of power. Because they got no power. They are loser. They are lowlife. They are jealous of somebody else's life who's trying to get education. And one thing I think before I wrap this up, evil kids, evil teenager girls, out of control, and of course teenager boys that don't win, they're going to be a loser. That's it for this edition of War Against Bullying in Public School. Coming up next week on War Against Bullying in Public School, I'm going to talk about the good time about learning and the key thing about bullying. I'm going to talk about the movie Bullying. And came out back in 2011. I'm going to explain what happened to these kids was near spending a bullet on course one teenager girl who bought a lower gun to school bus. Hope I hear that side of the story. You hear all more about the movie Bullet next week on War Against Bullet Public School. I gotta go. We see you next week. I'm Dan King. Say so long until next week. Bye.